Hello and welcome to Trailblazing TV. I'm Deborah Sweet, your host, and Trailblazing TV is all about helping you get some new perspective so that you can shift how you think about your brain and business, and that the goal here is to help empower you, educate you, and give you some new tools, resources, and perspective to help you reach the goals that you want in your life. So I'm just going to say a quick hello. Hi, Jesse. Thanks for joining us today. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having an amazing day. This week has definitely flown by. I don't know what you've all been up to, but we just we took our oldest son up to college. He starts school today. So that was quite an adjustment for us during the week. And this week has really been, for me, all about education, helping my son transition into his next level up for education. And no more than getting him off to school, coming back, helping our youngest son transition into life as what is kind of like an only child here in the household. That's been a different style, different place to be. And on top of it, I just went back up to a class yesterday. It's a workshop that a colleague of mine, Tanya, has been she's brought to the United States. This is only my 5th time taking her class because, yes, it's that good. So I want to give everybody a quick hello. Hello. Hi, Urvesh. Welcome, welcome. So if you all get a chance, Jesse, I'd love to hear where are you joining us at today. I'm down here in San Diego. Urvesh, if you get a chance, type in where you're at, and then I'm going to dive right into our subject. So today my topic is called the power of purpose. And I've been teaching and sharing for a few different episodes now some insights that I've gleaned from recovering from, oh my gosh, not only my severe traumatic brain injury, but there's been a whole host of other life circumstances and situations that I've had to work through. You know, one thing, as we get more seasoned in life, we have more opportunities to sometimes stumble and fall. And what's interesting about this and the perspective is, you know, everybody is dealt the same opportunities. And what I mean by that is every day we have choices. We have choices to step into where we would like to end up. What is it that we want to do? Or we can stay where we're at. And in some cases, there's a third choice that some people choose to do, and that is they just stay living in the past. Hi, Steve. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. So for me, you know, like everybody else, there has definitely been a whole host of situations that, as I was growing up and learning, you know, we do the best that we can in the situations that we have. And I think most people, at least the people that I connect with, are ongoing learners. They're good people. Hey, Steve, thank you. They're ongoing learners. They're great people. They've got good ideas. And, you know, we all have these challenges or obstacles that show up. They show up in life. They show up in business. Sometimes we are the makers of our own obstacles, right? We make a decision that maybe we should have just listened to the still, small, quiet voice and we didn't pay attention. I know for me, I've learned to trust that inner voice, that gut feeling, that hunch. Sometimes for me, it's a kick in the stomach. There's just this intuitive knowing, definitely led by the Spirit. And I know that some of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in my life occurred when that still, small, quiet voice told me no, but my own ego decided to get in the way, and I did what I wanted to anyways. And sometimes the repercussions of that, the cleaning up the drama and the trauma that we create for ourselves can take some time. And hopefully along the way, we gain introspection, we gain wisdom on what not to do, right? I want to say a quick hello. Hi, Glenn. Hi, Margoti. Thank you for joining us, gentlemen. So on the other hand, right, there are those circumstances that we create that cause moments for us to have to recover or overcome. And sometimes it's by our own choice, and we know it. And then there are other times where it may seem like we're just a victim of circumstances, the wrong place, the wrong time. And I'll get into that on a different day. But there are the things that we knowingly created for ourselves, and then there's the opportunities that unknowingly or unexpectedly have shown up. And every day we still have this opportunity to succumb to the circumstances, or we look for direction, wisdom, resources, and knowledge so that we can either go around the obstacle, or sometimes we have to overcome it, right? We can jump over it. And sometimes we just have to go through. We have to go through the cleaning up of the circumstances, because in the process of going through it is our growth. That's where we're growing. That's where we're gaining character. And so as I continue to work with leaders in their own life, leaders in business, leaders in education, leaders in the community, I'm being very transparent about my journey, because I feel that, or I know people have shared with me that as I share my stories and my resources, that it helps them avoid some of the mistakes or the challenges that don't have to be lived through. Sometimes there's just things we have to go through. And so my heart is to help provide my story and my resources so that you can shorten the time it takes for you to get to where you want to be. So with that, the title of today's topic, like I said, is called The Power of Purpose. So it seems it's very evident. Actually, let me share one thing. Some of you may be familiar with this, but in the back of our head, there's actually a filter. There's a filter right here that's called the reticular activating system, also known as the RAS. The RAS is your perspective. It's your brain's way of actually protecting you from too much information and too much overload. And the RAS is a really important filter in our thinking and in our body function. And so why I'm bringing this up is that there are ways that we can turn on the reticular activating system, and we can actually turn it off. It's a controllable, aspects of it are controllable while it's fully functioning. And so why I'm sharing this is that when I talk about the purpose of passion, you may hear that often. Now, for some of you tuning in for the first time today, this might be new to you. And so what I'm honing in on right now, the path that I'm leading you through, is the power of your passion and the power of your purpose. When you have purpose and you're clear on your passion, what that enables you to do, passion is like this catalyst that drives you. It's this catalyst that fuels you through the good times and the bad. But passion, you can have unabandoned passion, and we can end up doing things that are very self-destructive. We can hurt ourselves, we can hurt others based on passion. Passion with purpose is much more channeled, and the power of purpose is that's what I want to focus on, right? And many people, I think there's a common statement that a lot of people at some point ask, and that is, what is my purpose? Like literally, what's my purpose in this world? Or what's my purpose in business? I don't know about you, but that was a question that I asked for years. I won't tell you how many decades, let's just say a lot. And for me, my journey, there was the person I always felt I was designed to be. I felt compelled to be. And then there's the person that I kind of ended up becoming. And this is not where I needed to live, because my true purpose was like right here in the middle. In fact, it was very close to what I had mapped out initially, or what I felt compelled to. So this thing about your passion, the power of your purpose, and why I brought up the reticular activating system, is that there is definitely, it seems like there are more people talking about living in alignment, living in harmony, living with a connection to who you are and what you're designed to be. So if you are clear on your purpose, right? If this is familiar conversation to you, congratulations. I would ask you, share it. I'd love to know what your purpose is, because you might be at that place where we can lock arms, align with what your purpose is, my purpose is, and other people's, and we can bring things to light sooner rather than later. However, if you're still trying to define and find what your purpose is, I'd like to share just a couple of quick resources and then one action tip, right? To help you pivot your perspective so you can get back into living life on purpose. So this is, I've shared with you a couple of books that have been very influential, and I've always been very passionate about life and certain beliefs that I've had and visions and goals that I've had. So it's very interesting to me when I was at a conference, probably, let me find out when this was. I'm thinking it was about 8 or 9 years ago. Hey, Blaine, welcome, welcome. I'm just looking to see when the book was published. I'm pretty sure this book was published in 2008. So yes, I was thinking that the conference I was at was probably about 2008, 2009 maybe. So the Passion Test is by a lady, her name is Janet Bray Atwood. And this was a very interesting book. As you can tell, it's not as ugly as my others because I didn't completely highlight it all up, but it's dog-eared and it's used. And so what was really interesting, Janet was a speaker at a conference, and she actually took us through an exercise and did not give us a lot of time to consciously think about our answers, right? We had this in a very short period of time. And what is awesome, if you've listened in or watched any of the previous Trailblazing TV segments, I talk about the subconscious and the conscious, right? Try it this way, the subconscious and the conscious. And I've spoken about how 72 to 83% of people, especially here in the United States, know, claim, and suffer from living in a place of disconnect. So when I'm talking about disconnect, it's an overlay to what I'm speaking of today. Who's the person that you've always wanted to be? Who's the person that you're living? And how can we bring the whole you together, right? How can we bring the whole you together? So there's the heart component, and now I'm talking literally about a head component, conscious and subconscious. Most people, especially here in the United States, we try to do everything with our top 10% of our logic conscious thinking, right? However, the most of the body and our thoughts and our energies and our outcomes are controlled by our subconscious. So how can we bring those worlds together? Well, there's this process an experience that you can go through. It's called being in flow, right? When you're in flow, things they come automatically. It's like turning on a faucet, right? You can open a faucet and have it go drip, drip, drip. Maybe a little idea here, a little idea there, a little idea here. Or you can open up the faucet and let, fill your sink or your cup real fast, right? So Janet took us, the whole audience, into a state of flow. And it was awesome. I want to show you what the outcome is, and then I'm going to tie this together. So this is my special little book. I actually am very crafty and creative, and so one of the things that I did is I just took. I wanted to have an inspirational notebook, so I just made this really cool little book cover, right? So let me show you what I'm talking about and how this relates. So when I open this up, there are people that create what's called a vision board, and our brain sees through pictures. So I've tried the poster boards in my house. That doesn't work. I've taped things up on the bathroom. That doesn't work. I'm very kinetic. I like the binder, the binder element. I also have Pinterest. I use Pinterest as a vision board. So if there's things that I'm putting purposeful intention into, right? The power of purpose. I'm being purposeful in my thought, purposeful in my mindset, purposeful in my actions, purposeful in my speech. Then the outcome is that I am able to walk into that space sooner rather than later. So I kind of jumped ahead here, but let me just show you why this relates to this book. Okay, so I went through this book, this exercise, and yes, I've read the whole book. And then I decided that what I did is I've built this binder, and this is my 10-year plan. Okay, I'm going to say that again. This is a 10-year passion plan. And so what is, for me, what that means is I actually have major goals, major outcomes that I'm in process of achieving that carry me forward for 10 years. Now, my friend, why is this so important? Most people, especially here in the United States that I talk to, barely even plan their outfit that they're going to wear the next day, right? Most people get up and they struggle in the morning, like, oh my gosh, what am I going to wear today? This may seem like an insignificant example, but when we're talking about what are some of the things that create stress in your life, that create frustration in your life, that might be stealing time in your life, something as simple as planning your clothes the night before makes it all ready for you when you wake up, right? So that's like less than a 24-hour cycle. I'm talking, I have a 10-year game plan. Now, this is about a 50,000-foot view for my life, but I'm going to show you this right here this right here, and yes, I'm a purple girl, this right here was the outcome of my process that I went through in this, from this book, this passion book. So what I did is I crafted what my ideal life is and how I'm going to have my, like, what are the goals that are important to me? What are the things that I want to accomplish? When I say with me, there's a lot in here that the very first thing, it includes my husband. He's right there with me on this. My husband, my kids, my family, my business. So why is this important? Because I wrote in here, in fact, that was my brain dump that I shared. That page was right from that conference. And then what I did is I actually created a page that had dates and outlines, dates and details of when will those happen, okay? So here's where the purpose of your passion starts to get empowered, and your passion becomes the catalyst for your purpose. So there is definitely, so I'm going to show a couple other things. I definitely do a lot of notebooks. Again, I'm kinetic. So this is a study notebook. This is something that I'm working with right now to outline opportunities to get major media. And I just had one post this morning. We just got picked up in San Diego Women Magazine for the upcoming conference. And then this is another one that is a book that I'm using that I get very clear. And this is a book that I'm going through and I use as a working book. So I'm writing things down. This is my book where, as I'm breaking through old money beliefs, so I'm breaking through old mindset beliefs, this is where it goes. So what I'm sharing with you today, and we just have a couple of minutes to wrap up here, is two things, maybe three. First of all, if you're not clear on what your purpose is, let's connect. There are, I definitely, I have been gifted with the ability to guide people and coach them through helping you get unstuck in where you're at and helping you get clarity on where you want to be so that it is purposeful. Okay, so I'd love to be able to support you. Number two, with that purpose, are you passionate? And there are many tools and resources that I can introduce you to. So if, you know, guys, the word passion may not completely resonate with you, but what gets you excited? What gets you stoked about doing what you're doing, right? We can talk in guy talk too. The main thing is, what is your motivation? What's that motivation that is limitless and keeps you going? Just like you're putting high performance fuel into your vehicles, what are you connected? Are you connected to that source that's going to drive you with the right energy so that what is so meaningful to you actually manifests, right? So then number three is part of, once we get clear on what it is that you need to do with your purpose and that you're passionate or motivated or, you know, connected into, then I can introduce you to some simple strategies where, having it documented, written out, I can teach you some of the simple things that make things come about very, very quickly. And it makes life, the whole benefit of all of this is that it makes life become much more joyful, much more complete, and you can be your best self. You can be the best dad. You can be the best husband. You can be the best boss, because no longer do you have to live in a state of disconnect. So with that, that's all I'm going to share with you this morning. I'll be back online this afternoon with Trailblazing TV. So remember, live in your power, live in your peace. Thanks for spending a couple of minutes with me, and rock on. All right, bye.